In this installment, we're going to be going over the Monday Night Football Showdown slate on DraftKings between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef Dan. I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Monday Night Football Showdown slate on DraftKings between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Detroit Lions. But before I deep dive into this very, very intriguing slate, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetSD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about the Patreon. And we're going to get to that in just a few more seconds. Guys, we are on the page right now. We are at 1.44K thousand subscribers. Okay, the goal is to get to 1.45. The actual goal is to get to 2K, and then we can keep pushing from there. Continue to support this channel. Continue to support this free content that I'm putting out. Now, if you want to get to the paid content on the Patreon, we are on fire. All right, on absolute fire. This Sunday's picks, we have a complete sweep of this Sunday's selections, okay, that just passed. Week 8, we destroyed it. We had Panthers +3, Jets money line, Vikings money line, Cowboys, Dolphins, Seahawks, Ravens. I'm talking about, we had that upset of the Panthers. That came through. Vikings on the road in Green Bay. Everyone was on Green Bay. We had that as well. Guys, look at the full sweep we collected on Sunday. Cowboys, Vikings, Panthers, Miami Dolphins. I even had anytime touchdowns that hit with CeeDee Lamb and Alvin Kamara. So, guys, get connected. Get to that link provided down below so you guys can get winning selections on Sunday. I'm also putting out NBA bets as well, NBA futures, NFL futures. All that's in that link provided down below for the Patreon. Click it right now and do not miss out. Before we get to the captain selections, guys, we're going to talk about the injury report for this Monday Night Football game. On the Las Vegas Raiders side, we have a Q tag on Curtis Bolton, a Q tag on Daniel Carlson. Divine Diablo will be out there, linebacker. We have a Q tag on Nate Hobbs, and Muaga will be out for the Las Vegas Raiders. On the Detroit side, there's a little more significance in injuries on their side of the ball. No Jonah Jackson, he's going to be out. David Montgomery, he's going to be out. That's going to be a big blow, and it gives an opportunity to Jahmyr Gibbs, who we've been waiting for a very, very long time. We got Frank Ragnow doubtful. So this is two big blows to the offensive line here, and a whole bunch of Q tags after that. So just before we start on the captain selections here, Detroit side of the ball, that O-line is a little bit hampered right now. So let's start off with the captain plays. Starting off at the captain selections, we're going to go all the way to the top here. And the first guy we're going to be going to is the thumbnail in Amon-Ra St. Brown. He was in the injury report due to an illness, but right now he's trending towards playing. If there's any news that he's going to be out, just please stick to the news, see what is going to happen right before kickoff. But that's all that we know, that he's going to be fine and play in this game. All right, so do not be afraid of playing Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just make sure you're cognizant of the information that is coming out before kickoff. So captain play, Amon-Ra St. Brown is in a very good position here going up against these Las Vegas Raiders here. What could hamper things is maybe timing here, because we have a little bit of injuries going across that Detroit Lions offensive line. Maybe Max Crosby can get a little bit cooking here and get to the quarterback. It's the only thing that can hamper him. But we do have Jared Goff playing at home, and he has big home road splits here. And I like the fact that Jared Goff is home. That's going to bode well for his number one wide receiver, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's in a very, very good matchup here against the Raiders. He's going to be our first captain we go to. Devonta Adams on the other side. Jimmy Garoppolo is back. and he's going to be able to facilitate the football to Davante Adams. As we saw earlier in this season, Adams was looking fine, looking like a great play so far this year. Even with Jimmy G, we have games of 45.2 and 20.4. So there's upside there. Obviously, you expect the Raiders to be down, especially going up with this very stout run defense in the Detroit Lions. Is going to force the Las Vegas Raiders to throw the football. That's going to bode well for Davante Adams, and it's going to bode well for their second wide receiver and Jacoby Myers. Both of these guys are going to be in our lineup builds that we should utilize, all right? Jacoby Myers hasn't missed a beat, all right? He only had one bad game so far this year. That was in week 4 with 5.3. But other than that, it doesn't matter what quarterback it is. Jacoby Myers is the consistent possession receiver, okay? So Jacoby Myers is a very safe play here. You could throw him as a captain or just a safe play to throw him as a flex, all right? We have 13 targets against Chicago, 7, 10. He's on a streak of 3 games in a row with a touchdown. So hopefully that continues to go on in this matchup against Detroit. As like I said, Raiders should be down. They're going to be fighting back, trying to keep up pace. So that's going to bode well for these receivers, all right? So we like Adams, Myers, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. For the quarterbacks, yes, I did say Jared Goff plays better at home. So he can have some upside here as a captain play, but I'm going to move him back to that flex option. I'd rather pay up for Amon-Ra St. Brown, Davante Adams, Jahmyr Gibbs, who we're going to talk about. I think they're going to be more explosive and give you higher ceiling than what Jared Goff can provide if he's at the captain spot. It's a very, very rare scenario if Jared Goff is the number 1 player on the whole entire slate, okay? So, as you can see, home and road splits, 24.5 at home. On the road, 15.6. That's a huge difference. Almost 10 full points difference with Jared Goff in home and on the road. So, Jared Goff is going to be moved to a flex play. Jimmy Garoppolo, we're not going to play him as a captain. Just don't do that, all right? He only had 1 big game so far this year. That was an anomaly against Pittsburgh. And Jimmy Garoppolo has a big problem turning the football over. Each and every game he has turned the football over. 1 interception, 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, 1 interception. That's not going to bode well. We need him to provide big upside at that captain spot. So we're going to fade him at the captain. If you want to go with him at the flex, by all means, go ahead. But I doubt you need to play him at all. All right. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs is our other favorite top-tier captain we're going to be looking at here. We've been waiting, man. We've been waiting. He finally got in the end zone last week against Baltimore, and he got a full workload. Double-digit rushing attempts. And then he had 9 receptions on 10 targets as well. So that's what we want to see. Another game without David Montgomery. This could be the big breakout game for Jahmyr Gibbs. Hopefully we get back-to-back. We had 27.6 against Baltimore. He had time to rest. And now he is geared up and ready to have another go at it, being the number 1 running back in that backfield. Let's go back to the well of Jahmyr Gibbs. Love him as a captain play, all right? Next, the next captain play we can consider will be Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta here. For this Lions offense, it's just 3 receivers, kind of. It's pretty Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs getting a nice amount of receptions, and then Sam Laporta has emerged as a rookie tight end. We have big blow-up spots all throughout this year so far. He had 2 touchdowns against Carolina, had double digits against Baltimore, had 8 of 84 in a TD against Atlanta. So he's been very good from the beginning of the season, and we already saw this coming. Obviously, getting rid of TJ Hawkinson, bringing in Sam Laporta, he was going to get a high amount of target share, and he's taking full advantage of it. All right, the next guy you could consider, I'm really bumping him down to the flex spot, is Josh Jacobs. Okay, I have to mention him because he is a top tier name, and obviously he was the number 1 running back last year. But Josh Jacobs has not looked good at all. And if you watched any of my videos this summer, I told you that Josh Jacobs was going to have a big down year. I'm still expecting an injury. It could come this week, but I'm telling you right now, Josh Jacobs will not come close to what he did last year. Obviously, this team is horrible, and it doesn't bode well for him in this matchup going up against a top 2 run defense in the Detroit Lions. All right, for him to pay things off, he's gonna have to do it in the receiving game, and it's been very up and down, a seesaw here with Josh Jacobs in the receiving department. All right, he's been very poor rushing the football. Every game's been below 4 yards per carry easily. All right, so Josh Jacobs is going to be more of a flex play here. And we're going to move on to the flex options. For our flex plays, we're going to start things off with the suspended, but back now, Jameson Williams. He has that breakout X Factor type of game he can bring for this Detroit Lions. Stretch the field here with all the attention on Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, and those guys. Jameson Williams can fly under the radar and have a big blow-up game out of nowhere off of one catch, all right? So we saw that happen against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had 2 for 53 and a touchdown. That's why he is viable at the flex position here. This team can be exploited deep, and he has that speed and upside to do so, all right? So don't be surprised. Later, it could be third quarter, fourth quarter. You think he's down and out. He can come up with a very huge play that can set the things apart and really boost your team up in those tournaments. All right, so Jameson Williams is going to be a guy we can look at. Earlier in the season, the guy that they were trusting as a number 2 wide receiver was Josh Reynolds, just to let you guys know. But now he has been bumped back. It's Jameson Williams and Josh Reynolds fighting for that number 3 receiver position pretty much on the Detroit Lions offense. All right, so if you want to go with more upside there, it's going to be Williams. If you want to go with more consistency, it'll be Josh Reynolds. Let's continue to go down. Now, for kickers and defenses, we're going to be leaning on the Lions defense. I do not want to play the Raiders defense. So Lions defense is here going up against Jimmy Garoppolo that tends to turn over the football. I like that type of upside. I like Aiden Hutchinson and the defenders on that front 7 that they have for the Detroit Lions as well. That's what we're going to be leaning on, creating havoc, creating opportunities for that defense at home. So that bodes well. That's correlation. If you have a running back in the Detroit Lions there, and then you're bringing it with their defense, that correlates, all right, throughout the game. So now with the kickers, the kicker we'll be going with will be Riley Patterson for the Detroit Lions. On the Las Vegas side, we're waiting on news on Daniel Carlson. If he is out because he has a Q tag right now, then guys pivot over to McCourt as their kicker. All right. If you get any negative news and you were planning to use Carlson, then just move over to McCourt. All right. But kickers and defenses are going to be viable on both sides of the football for in this game between the Raiders and the Lions. Other guys we can look towards, Michael Mayer. He's going to be boosted up on our flex list because he's been breaking out, getting more snaps. All right. He's now past Austin Hooper as the starting tight end, and he's getting more snaps per game now. Now we saw that rise. We had 5.9 against Green Bay, had a little bit of a breakout, 5 for 75 against New England, and then had 4 targets against Chicago. So I like the upside I see right there. We get Jimmy Garoppolo back. That's going to be a boost to him because the previous weeks he was working with a backup quarterback. So Michael Mayer has some upside as a flex play, all right? And then one of our last but not least choices, Craig Reynolds here. With David Montgomery out, it's still a 2-man job with the Detroit Lions running that football. It's just that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be leaned upon just a little bit more. All right, but I'm just letting you know, Craig Reynolds is going to get a handful amount of touches as well. Do not forget about him. And if you need a late flex guy at the end, maybe you want to do a 2 running back lineup with Gibbs and Reynolds that can be very viable against the Raiders' poor run defense, then that has some upside as well, right? If we're looking at anyone below that, you do have Hunter Renfrow, who is a factor, very minor factor, but hey, he is trade bait now. Maybe they want to get him going a little bit. Maybe he comes down with a touchdown here. He just needs one to pay off. Austin Hooper is the backup tight end. We're not really looking at him. Zamir White needs an injury for him to finally have some upside there. He needs Josh Jacobs going. And other than that, we are not going below $1,000 in salary, okay? Unless you fit in a bunch of these other guys. You got Gibbs, you got Adams, you got Brown. You fit in Michael Mayer, and you just they don't have enough salary left. Maybe you fit in Laporta, you don't have enough salary left. You maybe want to throw someone under $1,000 in the flex. That can bode well as well. If you're fine with all other 5 positions and you're just forced to punt the final one, then that makes sense as well. So the three guys we're going to have in each and every one of our lineups. Number 1 will be Amon-Ra St. Brown. Number 2 will be Jahmyr Gibbs. All right. You want Amon-Ra St. Brown. You definitely want Jahmyr Gibbs. Finally getting the full usage in this offense. And then the third player will be Davante Adams. Okay. We're going to go with these 3 guys. I like Adams for a touchdown as well. He's been complaining about usage. So he got his 12 targets and 7 receptions last game, but he has not had a TD since week 3. So Davante Adams is super due. All right. So I like these 3 guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll be back with another video very soon. All right. Peace out, guys.